Okay, so here we are back with a video, and this was actually sent to me sent to me by a watcher. Yeah, this video is going to go into what's titled "Everything Wrong with Red Pill." Now, I skimmed through it a bit. I didn't really stay. I didn't really watch it any length because I wanted it to be a new experience with us together going through it. But I'll just start off with this, man. Like my thing with Red Pill is this. um, Red Pill is not something that is any way, shape, or form new. It is not. Men did not create Red Pill. It is nothing that is like. It really isn't. Okay, now I can see how some people can kind of like call it a movement because, and the only reason why these people can say like it's a movement is because it actually has a name attached to it. You see, Red Pill always exists, and I said this in a video a while back. Red Pill has always existed. The thing is, you see, bitches don't have to think. Bitches have always just operated and moved. Bitches don't assign definitions to things. They don't make rules. They don't make morals. They don't think. Bitches just are born. A woman is born. They just act. You see, men had to learn, had to apply definition, and this is where the actual definition of Red Pill came from. But it's always been like the actions of Red Pill, and it's not just between men and women. This is how the world acts. The world is Red Pill. Mainstream media is extremely Red Pill. How can you be on top of people media-wise if you're not Red Pill? You have to be. But like I said, the only reason that Red Pill gets attention is because it has that definition name attached to it now. Red Pill. But they motherfuckers didn't make fun of mainstream movies, mainstream music, advertising, how the world relations. The motherfuckers had never made fun of that before. Why? Because there was never an actual name attached to it. You see, and then nowadays when you got all these beta blue pill soy boys who are they secretly are going to fight against Red Pill because they secretly think that they'll get more pussy and be more likable to women if they denounce Red Pill. See, now you got these guys. I'm not saying this guy because I haven't watched this whole video, so I don't know what his particular take is. But when guys do try to talk down on things like Red Pill and MGTOW shit, usually the only reason they're doing it is because they secretly believe that they'll get more pussy if they're caught talking down on MGTOW Red Pill. That's because if any guy who would ever say anything negative about it, you have to confront him exactly like this. You have to go, okay, imagine that you're not going to get any pussy for being seen talking like this. Now, what's your opinion on XYZ? And I guarantee you, they whole mode to switch up, or they'll attack you like a woman will attack you. Go, well, you're just a meanie, and then leave. Because they know it's true. But anyway, we're going to start with the video, man. Because like I said, I haven't watched this video at all. Well, I skimmed through it a few times, but let's just see what this guy says.
Alrighty, g'day everybody. So today's video is going to be a video that I suspect a lot of you are going to disagree with. I expect to get kind of a mixture of likes and dislikes today. And that's okay because, I know that today's video is going to be a little bit of a dissenting opinion. It's going to be an opinion that very much goes against the grain of people who watch me. Because a lot of guys who watch my channel have a kind of sympathy for some of the arguments that the Red Pill makes. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a dissenting opinion, which I've given before. And I'm just going to go over it again today, because I really cannot stress this enough. But first of all, let me give you a little bit of a disclaimer. I do not have a problem with the basic concept of the Red Pill. If anything, I was back in 2013 when I learnt about the Red Pill. I was very sympathetic towards what it was trying to achieve, and even though I was never fully on board with the Red Pill, I definitely saw where it was coming from and, some of the arguments that the early kind of MRA guys were making. Again, I didn't necessarily agree with them on everything, but at least I found their ideology or their philosophy to be coherent. I understood what they were saying. I understood where they were coming from. Like, for example, many of the early MRA guys, they came from all corners of the political spectrum. They were simply men who believed that there were certain instances, for example, the divorce court system, there were certain institutions that seemed to kind of rule against men more than 50% of the time, that there seemed to be an institutional bias against men. And these guys, the early MRAs, they were kind of like an on-the-ground advocacy movement. And while I didn't agree with them on everything, I certainly thought that they had a role. I think everybody, whether it be guys, girls, whomever, I think everybody deserves to have an advocacy group that represents them when the time comes. However, between 2013 and 2018, it seemed to me that, and I don't know what caused this, I don't know if it was like the events such as Gamergate, the 2016 election, I'm not sure what caused it, but it seemed that the Red Pill got kind of co-opted and taken over by all of these kind of more kind of hardcore anti-left, and this is just my kind of perception of what happened. This is my kind of, these are my footnotes. It seemed to me that the Red Pill became more radicalized by the kind of the right-wing, not the alt-right, but more just kind of the dissident right-wing voices on the internet. They sort of really began to kind of make the Red Pill their own. And as time goes on, it became more and more radical. Like, we need to reinstall the patriarchy from 100 years ago because, if we give these girls their freedom to hook up with who they want and vote and stuff, it's going to inevitably result in a matriarchy. And they have this deep philosophy, which I'm not even going to bother trying to deconstruct, about how like it's in their nature to erode men's value. I can't even be bothered trying to make sense of their cryptic philosophy.
Well, no, it's not. See, it's only cryptic. Okay, with that right there, it's only cryptic. It's only cryptic when you don't understand women in general. Like I said, like women are not these magical fucking super difficult things to understand. It's only cryptic logic when you don't. It's only cryptic logic when you overthink women and you try to. Okay, when you are trying to make women equal to men, that's when women are these they're not you can't understand it. You don't know how are they doing it? Why are they see that's when, because you're secretly trying to bring a woman up to a man equally, and women don't even want to be there. Okay, they don't want it. They don't want it. It's that whole equality shit. I said this so many times before. That equality shit was nothing but a shit test that men failed horribly. And why did men fail horribly? Because most of these men were now being raised by either single mothers or women who dominated the household, because it would be cheaper for the man to just stay with the woman instead of leave and get, like what everybody knows is true, get divorce raped. So you have all these boys being raised by women. And now, and they've learned, like it's what women do. They manipulate emotions. They manipulate, how to make you feel to get you to do what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? So and it's true. The woman's nature, woman's default setting is destruction and destroy. And it's male's job to always sit around and fix you. Let's break it down. Like I said in older video, let's break it down to an even simpler format. And this dude, CBP, wherever you are, and I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm trying to pretty much expose base logic. Now, if this is not true, if everything I said is not true and there's some cryptic logic, this is a much easier way for you to get it. Now, go and find the most strongest, feminist, butchest, dykest woman who is equal and better than a man. Okay, ask her, would she hire a female electrician to fix her electricity in her house? Would she hire a female construction worker to come and build her a fucking well in her front yard? Ask her and be real about it with her. Just ask her flat out. Would you rather hire a man or a woman? Guess what she'll say? Because women know their core. I'm not trying to bash women. It's the reality. Since the beginning of time, woman essentially takes from society and men essentially has to fix and give to society. It's no fucking secret. But like I said, when you don't understand, when you don't have a lot of experience with women, and shit. Like you can't like you'll men as because it's what a man's mind does. We completely overthink the base simpleness of what woman is. It's very simple, and it's so petty. Men have to, like I told you guys before. If you want to think how a woman, if you want to understand how a woman thinks, as a man, you have to go to the most pettiest of things that you will go to, and you'll be like, yeah, that's super petty. But don't stop there. Go about 3 steps lower, and then you're on par with what how the average woman's brain is thinking, and why she's mad, why she's doing this, why she's doing that. See, women don't do things out of logic. It's no secret. Red Pill is not some magical demon who made this shit up. It's known. Women do not do things out of logic. They do things out of emotions. And what did Sherlock Holmes say? Emotions are the antagonist of logic. Google it. Emotions are the antagonist of logic.
The red pill sort of became this very kind of right-wing apocalyptic philosophy, and you started hearing more and more talk about the war against men are victims, men are second-class citizens, etc., etc.
Sure, right.
I don't fundamentally have a problem with the guys.
And in the Western world, yes, men are second-class citizens in the Westernized world. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. You don't believe me? Go out there and have a baby with a bitch, and then have her want to leave you. And watch how first-class citizen you'll be as a man. Go outside and go CBP. Go to any fucking family court system, and ask any man who came out here, do you feel like a first-class citizen? That motherfucker's gonna be crying and that's even the dude that came out here. So don't get that shit, man. Don't get it twisted. In Western societies, you are second-class citizen, bro. Don't get that shit twisted. I'm talking directly to you on that. You just may not see it yet. You know what I'm saying? You might have been, just sheltered enough to not see it or have to come across it in any kind of way. But you are a second-class citizen. Don't get that shit twisted for a second. And I'm just helping you out I'm not even trying to make fun of you. I'm helping you out as a man with that shit. Why you think I'm in Prague? Why you think I'm in America right now? Fuck that shit. They can keep that.
Believe this because, people can interpret reality to mean all at once. And obviously, at least with the dating scene, it is true. I don't have a problem with guys who believe that, men are being walked all over upon because, maybe in like little corners of the mainstream media we're not really represented. But that's neither here nor there. I don't really have a problem with the guys who believe in all of that. However, the people I do have a problem with are the guys that go around pretending like everybody else in society, all of the blue-pilled men, they're all beta male sims, right? But the red pill man who walks around believing that we live in a matriarchy, he's the alpha male. He's like the Chad. The guy who wants to roll back the dating market deregulation. He's the alpha male. And this is the part where I take issue. You got to dive deeper into that, man. And which I get into YouTube video. Maybe if we get on a live interview, we can dive deeper into topics and get this shit a little more fleshed out. But there's different tiers to like alpha male, and there's alpha male for different reasons. Like the typical Chad Tyrone, what a typical Chad stereotype of alpha guy is going to be a guy who makes 6 figures, 6-pack abs. And a typical Tyrone alpha male is a guy who's not going to have as much money, but, he's an asshole to women and he can fuck bitches when he wants to, shit like that. Now, that blue pill shit, okay, don't get it twisted. In a woman's mind, if you're blue pill, you are beta. Okay, she's just going to tell you whatever because if you walk up to a bitch and say, hey, I don't like red pill, I'm blue pill. See, you got to understand woman's nature. It's woman's nature to please men, to please other people by whatever means necessary. So she's going to tell you whatever pleasing thing she has to do to get you to fuck out the room and get her away from her. She's going to do it. I was talking to my girl a few days ago about my assistant. The first guy I had holding the camera while I was walking around Prague. His girlfriend dumped him. And they're both like, they were both 20. And I said, look, a 20-year-old guy and a 20-year-old girl, a 20-year-old girl is just so much further ahead than a 20-year-old guy. It's not even funny, okay? It's just not even funny. And I told my girl, like, look, the exact thing that's happening to my assistant is he was raised by a single mother and he's around other 20-year-old kids. So
they're all just gonna go, oh, it's okay, yeah, she'll be back, and just to get him away. See, women and children they do not naturally love and care for other people. You see, they're going to tell you what you want to hear because they think it'll please you and shut you the fuck up. Once you can accept that as reality, you will grow 10 times exponentially with women. Don't listen to what they say. They will say anything to get you to feel like they satiated you. They are not going to tell you any reality. If you're looking for reality, do not go to a woman. You'd be better off going to a child before you'd be better off going to a woman. Do not go to a woman in most cases. There are anomalies here or there, but for the most part, if you're looking for reality, a woman is the last place you go for that shit.
If you go and listen to the whole kind of like dating coach wing of the manosphere, like Modern Life Dating and Rollo Tomasi, they go around saying that they're entrepreneurs and, they're in favor of like the Bulldog Mindset and everything. They're in favor of the alpha male mindset. But if you watch their videos, they spend 70% of their time complaining. A couple of weeks ago, I stuck...
Now, I can agree with that. And I said it because my videos, I tried to make my videos targeted towards like flat out exposing what women are doing and what they are actually thinking, like almost in a step-by-step basis. So when you leave my shit, you can go out in the world or you go hook up with another bitch, and now you are immediately getting success with women. You're immediately making it at minimum some kind of progress in a positive direction that you can see. Now I will agree with him on that because and to be clear, I never wanted to sell myself as any type of dating coach. Because I was talking with my girl about this. Now she's seen some of my videos and we talk about shit, but she's not in shit. But we talked about it. And the reality is this, with dating, there are so many different combinations to shit that it's impossible for any one man to tell another man do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it all works out, exactly how it should. Because you gotta remember, when you're dealing with bitches, man, it is always like it is about the setting. It's about how you walked. It's about how you talk. It's about how you dress. And it's maybe she may have more of an affinity towards you because you look like or you treat her like the 5th grade teacher she used to have when she was in 5th grade and she had a crush on him. So she likes you a little more just because there's so many dynamics that you just can't look out for. So my advice to men in the dating market is just round up as many bitches as you can and then pick from those. Don't pay any one of them too much attention because you're never going to know why a woman's going to really like you and why she's not. Now, there are advantages you can have. Don't ever call them back within 5 minutes or text them back within 5 or 10 minutes, especially when you first start talking. Be more assertive. Don't ask her too many questions because that's putting her in a leadership role. There are things that definitely do help. But at the end of the day, if you are only trying to chase after one girl, there was a saying about was it macroeconomics or some shit like that? I can't remember where I got this from. It said people in the masses are highly predictable, but individual people are completely unpredictable, and that's how it is in dating. I can give you a general way you approach bitches, but if you're only trying to chase after one girl, that I can't help you with that because there's so many variables that go into play. So I see where he's coming from. I agree with him on that. I say so we're at 1-1. I agree with one. I disagree with one. I don't say I disagree. We're 1 and 1.25. And to add to why I agree with him on this, let's just be real. There's a lot of guys out there, which I tell my male and female watchers this. Do not watch manosphere guys who cannot keep either A, they can't get a woman or can't keep a woman, or B, if they do keep a woman, they always complain about getting on the plantation because that means that they don't know how to handle the woman once they get her. Because when you handle a woman properly, you're not going to end up on a plantation. What the plantation is a translation for is this. And I said this before, the plantation, and I'll go on record in the manosphere saying this shit to every manosphere motherfucker around. Play this shit for him. The plantation is male translation for I lose control of the relationship, so the woman is thrusted into becoming the leader. That's what the plantation translates into. So if you find a manosphere guy who complains about the plant getting put on a plantation, or he cannot get a woman or keep a woman, a lot of times these guys are just bitter, like super bitter as fuck. I mean, like I get on here, like okay, you guys see me when I'm making another YouTube channel soon, and it's just gonna be about me like traveling, eating in Prague with and eating like exotic food and shit like that. But you guys see how I walk, how I move in public. Like I'll always get some attention. Like getting bitches is not a problem for me. Like you see me in the jungle on where I'm walking around Prague. Like if motherfuckers be looking, staring, talking and shit to me, like that's the proof. Okay, but when a motherfucker like clearly is always complaining. Okay, either he's bitter because those two reasons I stated earlier, or B, he's just trying to make clickbait to make money off motherfuckers on YouTube and sell bullshit advice. Those are the two things. Anyway, let's continue.
Across Richard Cooper's Twitter account by accident. And this guy, Richard Cooper, he goes on and on and on about how you should do the work and don't be a crybaby. He makes fun of the men going their own way because they're quitters and everything. He has all of this kind of red pill philosophy. And I'm not kidding. Every tweet that I read from this guy is negative. Like, he's always virtue signaling about fatherhood and, lack of male role models and everything. And, that same kind of Jordan Peterson crap that we've heard a million times. It kind of reminded me of that movie with Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino, where he's like, get off my lawn, you pups. But the kinds of guys, the older kind of middle-aged men who watch Richard Cooper and Rollo Tomasi, the reason why they're constantly getting triggered over like single mothers and everything, it's because they were with single mothers. They are like reformed simps in a sense. Like,
sure.
That's what the red pill is to them. It's like realizing that you've been a simp your whole life. And they hear people like me who make fun of the red pill, and they assume that I'm where they were. Because I remember when Undead Chronic is like, CBP must be married because he criticizes the red pill. It's like, no, I'm criticizing you because the only reason why you get triggered over single mothers is because you were dumb enough to get involved with them in the first place, and you had a bad experience.
Okay, see, right there. You were dumb enough to get involved with them in the first place, and you had a bad experience. So, that sounds pretty red pill to me, CBP. Calling that they must have been dumb enough, like it was a negative to get with a single mother in the first place. That sounds a bit red pill, bro. Let's just be real about it. It sounds a bit red pill. So like, how are you saying everything that's wrong with? I mean, and to be fair, you did say like you did agree with a lot of it, but it got kind of radicalized, which is going to happen pretty much in any group of people, any religion or any group. It's going to get eventually get to a point where it becomes radicalized because you're going to have your extremists. But I got to be honest with you, that whole last statement sounded a bit red pill. It sounded a bit red pill. It was sounding a bit red pill. Like. Yeah, because you went on your own to say that they must have been dumb enough to get with one in the first place. So are you admitting that it's dumb to get with single mothers? What philosophy backs that up?
You don't have this new information that the rest of us don't have. You're actually more of an embarrassment than you think you are. If I made videos and I said that I'm not allowed to...
Okay, see that line right there, you're more of an embarrassment than you think you are. No. See, that's kind of, from how I perceive that statement, that's coming from a childish mentality. Because, see, a childish mentality is kind of this thing of like, you're supposed to be invincible kind of thing. And if you ever made a mistake, then you were wrong and then you'll never be right again. No, see, as a man, like, the more knowledge you obtain and whatever you can fix, that makes you a more well-rounded human man. You see what I'm saying? So I would never say a guy was like, is an embarrassment because of it. He learned and he grew, and now he's going back and telling other people not to make the same mistakes. See, this is what fathers do. You see, fathers go back and teach their kids to not make the same mistakes they made after they made them. So are you saying like I'm just to be real about it. Are you saying your father was an embarrassment because he did something and he went back to try to tell you, not to make the same mistake? Like, and don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, it's a YouTube video, so I mean, we all kind of get on rants and start talking and kind of skim over important, factors of it. But I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Like, I wouldn't mind doing an interview with this dude, man. Seriously. Because I feel like there is intelligence there, but I feel like the parts that I'm dissecting, maybe he has some more to explain. So maybe I'm just kind of like going a little too hard on him on certain parts. But like calling inferring that a guy is an embarrassment because he makes videos to warn other people why not to date single mothers. That, I mean, now if he was going around now, okay, now I can see Richard Cooper was saying like yeah, that dumbass ugly bitch with the big nose and fucking was getting gang banged by Chad. Like if he was just flat out dogging bitches out, then I'm like, okay, yeah, you got a point. But no, he's like because I used to watch Richard Cooper back in the day, man. I don't watch him much anymore, but I used to watch him. He was never like dogging bitches out. He was telling you fucking facts. So I mean, if you getting triggered, like. In my opinion, that's not being triggered. In my opinion, like, triggered is if he said, like, don't date single mothers, and he just got on and just flat out went, because single mothers are fucking, because she's fat, and she's disgusting, and she's ugly, and, these personal attacks on them. Like, then I'm like, okay, yeah, they got triggered. But no, I mean, when he gets on, he talks about it, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I agree and disagree with shit he says, too. But in this context, now, I don't disagree with what he did. I don't think he was triggered. I think it was more of a thing of, it's a mixture of, trying to get YouTube clicks up. And then also, I mean, he's stating legitimate facts of what you deal with when you deal with single mothers. So, like, okay, overall summary. You're inferring. Let's go back. You're inferring that he's an embarrassment for getting that he was dumb enough to get with a single mother in the first place. Well, while this whole field is not about making anybody an embarrassment. So in the end, like, you kind of come off and sound like more of an asshole than the group you're talking about is everything that's wrong with them. Like, nobody in this group is trying to say, like, nobody in this group is trying to make it sound like somebody's an embarrassment after they, took the red pill and they see the reality of the situation. Like, after that, then it's like it can be like considered an embarrassment given a scenario. But no, it's not about embarrassing anybody as an embarrassment at any point. Once they've been it's about, from my opinion, it's about growing and learning. Like I said, now maybe you stumbled across like those 1 or 2 videos where you found a motherfucker that was just dogging motherfuckers out. But like from my perspective, no, it's not about embarrassing anybody. It's about facts. And like motherfuckers say I'm funny when I talk. I don't know if I'm funny or not, but from my perspective, I guess I might be funny about it. But like, no, it's not about embarrassing anybody. It's about exposing the truth and the thought patterns of what's actually going on in the dynamic. That was a long rant. But anyway, let's continue.
My house, I'm not allowed to show up on the internet. I'm not allowed to go to work and just be me because, the world just hates me. Would I be in a position to go around calling everybody a soy boy, calling other people, weak-willed beta males that just need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and everything?
Okay, and let's be honest about it. Now it sounds like you're getting triggered. Somebody called you a beta male. It sounds like you're triggered by it. And just to be honest about it, it sounds like you're getting triggered by the whole beta male thing because all this, it's like whenever beta comes up, it's like this like anger part comes out. I'm not trying to make fun of you, like, because I got paid. I got paid to make this review, because I would never watch your video in the first place. I'm not trying to make fun of you. Like, but it sounds like you're triggered by the beta shit. If anything.
What the red pill guys do, they gym max and everything, and they feel like they're tough guys. And then they turn around and accuse everybody else of being soy boy beta males. And then you have guys like Coach Red Pill, who go around saying that, the incels have a victim mentality, which maybe they do. But it's like, who are you to judge when you go around saying that men are being oppressed, men are hated? It just, to me, there's an incongruity there.
Okay, here's basic logic right here. Men are being oppressed. Go on Tinder and try to pay for the app and watch how men have to pay twice as much for the app. Or go to a club and how women get in free, men have to pay $20 to get in. Or again, go to family court systems and just hang out. Since you're on this whole optimistic shit of like, oh, well, men are being punished, men are... Bruh, go... Okay, I'll tell you even a step deeper that you probably never even ventured into. Try going to a sex club or something and watch how you can be treated as a single man walking up in there versus a man with a woman or a single woman walking in there. Watch how you're going to be treated.
In 2020 goes around saying that, we live in a deregulated dating market, it's unfair, it's unjust. That's fine. That's okay to have that opinion. But don't pretend like you're smashing and dashing and you're like king of the alpha males. Because the fact that you have a problem with a system that just simply lets people hook up with whoever they want to hook up with, and you think that that's a bad thing, that's
okay. So this right here, Chad and Tyrone don't have a problem with hypergamy. Why? Yeah. See. Okay. I can tell right here. You've been reading too much Reddit. You've been reading too much Reddit to say some shit like Chad and Tyrone don't have a problem with hypergamy. Why? Which is a very okay, because I know that mentality. Because I talk about Chad and Tyrone all the time, and I still fuck bitches. All right, because Chad and Tyrone is not like, to me, Chad and Tyrone is not this mythical fucking Pokemon that's 6'4" and 6-pack abs and all that shit. Because I know the reality of Chad and Tyrone. I know the reality and how their existence really sucks for real. Because I've been there, and like I don't classify myself as a Tyrone because I'm not like super tall and I don't have felonies. Like, I'm only 5'7". I don't have a felony. I got 4 college degrees. I'm a disabled. I briefly was in the military and a disabled veteran. Okay, but I also, when I was in college, like in younger years, like my brother was more of like the Tyrone type. So I seen that shit and I was around it and I seen how bitches act for certain types of dudes. Now, am I jealous? No, because I know how to personally. I know how to beat that shit. For the legitimate red pill dudes, for the legitimate red pill guys. The legitimate red pill guys are not intimidated by Chad and Tyrone, all right? Because we can mentally beat that shit, and we know what it is for real. See, the reason why Chad and Tyrone got to bounce from woman to woman is because that woman inevitably gets tired of them. Because, okay, Tyrone usually can't financially protect her. And then Chad, the stereotypical Chad's going to have so much money to where he don't got to sit down with one bitch. So they going to be going through bitches. But see, like, but at the same time, you've never heard me be sad, mad, angry, or jealous about it because I know what it is, A, and B, I know how to beat it. Because I got this, because I watched and learned. You see what I'm saying? But see, I can tell from some shit like this, they don't have a problem with it. Why? I could tell with that part right there, you be reading too much Reddit. You be getting into Reddit and getting into them little fucking chat sites where there are groups of men who just completely hate Chad and Tyrone. And it's damn near black pill shit. And that's another part that I get on. Stay away from black pill. Stay away from that shit. Because all that shit does is give you a more foundation to be able to sit down and go, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. And then you just get comfortable while you sit down and point your finger at it. Stay away from that black pill shit. Stay away from it, man. Trust me on that. Stay away from that black pill shit. Black pill. Okay, black pill is the equivalent. What's that shit? Female strategy of dating or some shit like that. It's the same shit. It's all the bitches who have mentally deteriorated. So now they mad at if a halfway decent guy came up to any of them bitches, they'd be fucking, they wouldn't even know what to do with it. Okay? Because they've mentally deteriorated so far that they can't even be happy with themselves anymore. And that's what black pill is. Those are the equivalent. But see, the difference is, even a female strategy dating bitch, she can just go and stand on a corner and be relatively bought because she is woman, where man can't do that. A man has to come up with much more up here to sell properly.
That you're not winning in this economy. And it's not just that, the current red pill guys, and again, this is not a slight against the red pill philosophy as a whole. This is just against the guys that call themselves red pill who are well known. But yeah, one of the things that
okay, translation, these are the only red pill guys that you've listened to. Right? And that triggered you for calling you beta. Is from what I'm gathering at this point.
Pill guys do is they cite evolution and they say men are meant to go out and plant their seed, and they're meant to have multiple different children to multiple different people, whereas the girl is meant to stay home and be like the mother, the raiser of children. And they pretend that evolution supports this totally nonsensical theory. Do you want to know how that's
totally nonsensical theory? Go ask women. They'll tell you. Women that don't even know what red pill is will tell you the same exact shit, bruh. Like, it sounds more like to me like you are biased because some red pill dudes probably ran you out of a Reddit room for calling you beta, and now you mad. That's why you made this video. Go ask bitches. Go ask bitches that, or bring up, do what Alexander Grace does. Go on the street and ask bitches, or tell bitches, do women do men like to plant their seed and women want to stay home, blah blah. And women say, yeah, that sounds. And the bitch don't even know what red pill is. See, this is the shit I'm talking about, man. See, this is why red pill shit gets attacked, because there's an actual name attached to it. Motherfuckers know what red pill is. They just did, like, before it was a name attached to it. Bitches know what it is. If I guarantee, okay, bro, CBP, do this. Bring a woman in, or ask a woman, and just throw around alpha term, or just throw around red pill terms. Like, do you want an alpha man or a beta man? Or do you want a beta bucks? And I guarantee you ain't going to have to explain any of that. She will think and go, oh yeah, that definition applies to what I was doing. Like, bro, like, go do it. I will bet you $1,000 to a pencil. She will decipher that shit on her own. Because man applied definition to it that made sense. And you don't even need a book to understand what that shit is. So, like, cause you trying to attack red pill motherfuckers, and like, see. But that last statement right there, man, like that with the biological, bitches know biology. See, like I say in my older videos, man, bitches really don't care who they fuck. They really don't. They don't. Fucking is nothing more than a massage to women. When you get them deep down and like really talking, fucking is nothing more than a massage to them. Than a good massage. That's all. See, men apply this whole specialness to it, and this, oh, you're my only one, and all that shit. And then women now try to mimic that shit. But women, they don't care who they fuck, man. What women are after is the protection for after they get fucked and get pregnant. You see, that's why a woman wants to stay home and all that shit like that for real. That's why they want to do it, because see, they're after that protection afterwards. That's where hypergamy comes in. They want that protector to protect them for the consequences of them getting horny. See, like, bruh, yeah, you lost a lot of my respect with that. From just like the basic understanding of how the world works. Like, did you take a biology class once in your life? Like, I mean, or did you take it seriously? I should say that, because I have a degree in biotechnology, by the way. I mean, did you study this shit seriously? Like, that kind of pissed me off for real.
Provably false. It's very, very simple. There's a very, very simple experiment. When you give an animal, say a dog, for example, the freedom to do what it wants, you don't train it to do anything. Mm-hmm. You simply let it be itself. And when you see a common behavior amongst all dogs, like barking, for example, this is evidence that it is natural for them. We know that it's natural for dogs to bark, because that's what they do when you give them the freedom to bark. And we can see through casual observation that if you give a girl the freedom to live whatever type of life she lives, she's going to go off and sleep with like 1,000 different chads throughout the course of her youth.
Correction. When you give the woman an option of an online social media platform where she can reach all these chads and Tyrone, she'll go off and she'll only pick those because she knows it exists. But if you put a woman on a fucking island with a bunch of beta guys, she's going to fuck the beta guys. And she doesn't have anything to compare it to because there's no other women that's going out doing this and then posting it on Instagram. God, this dude is like wowzers. Like, wow, yeah, I can tell you exactly why this video was made, man. He got ran out of a chat room and called beta, and now he's mad, so he made this video. That's exactly because his logic is like coming from like a more bro. I'm talking to you directly. Your logic is coming from, and I'd be happy to talk with you on an interview. I'm not mad at you personally, like, but this shit is just like fucking ridiculous. Like, the logic is coming from a child mentality. Because Because I mean, you comparing dogs to do, a dog, it'll do what if you let a dog go, it'll bark because it's natural for a dog. Yeah, and if you let a woman go, she'll naturally go after the highest one she can get, within her area, and that she feels like she can, measure up to. You see, but you didn't amplify it by social media and Tinder, throwing that shit way out of proportion to where you got fucking threes thinking they're tens because they can get a text back on a lonely night from a dude who's a 9 that's just horny.
Natural for girls to sleep around, usually with Chad and Tyrone. That is their natural behavior. They're not designed by nature to be these trad wives just because they're biologically capable of giving birth.
Bruh, bitches, yeah, okay, I agree. But see, like, you not going in deep. Like, I want to interview with him. I want to interview with you, CVP. See, women do not, like, a lot of women do not intentionally want to grow up to be traditional wives. But woman's inevitable end is to seek somebody to protect her while she has to raise her children. So the next easiest path of least resistance is to sit her fucking ass at home with that baby while you go out and work and bring home the money. That is the ideal path. But see, the other reality is this: a lot of women cannot go out and get a man who can fully protect her financially and physically. So then a lot of women got to get with that man who only earns 40 a year. So now she got to go out and work and bring it. Bitches don't want that shit, man. They don't want it. They hate that shit, but they end up stuck with it. Because if everyone, and you just pretty much went off and said, if every woman had the option, she would go after that top 1 or 2%. But it's just do the math. DUDAMAF. If it's 15 billion other women on the planet and it's only a few thousand of these men, these women got to go off and get stuck with some man they really don't want. You see, but even then, they're still trying to get the one that's a little higher. That way, she don't got to work if she don't want to, type of shit. You see what I'm saying? Because most of them don't want to work full time. They don't. But see, that trad wife shit, that trad con wife, it is the path of least resistance that will still put them in a favorable light. Because let's say you flip it. Let's say the woman goes out there and work, and that man stays and stays home and is a stay-at-home dad. Oh, he's gonna get that motherfucker gonna get laughed at all day long because it's not in man's nature to be like that. See, go in about that.
That's not how it works. Now, hopefully this goes without saying, but obviously I'm exaggerating. I'm being hyperbolic. There are some people out there that are naturally quite monogamous people. Maybe they'll have like a few partners when they're young and in college or whatever, but they mostly settle down in their early mid-20s and they never really sleep around. They don't sleep with as many people as possible. And obviously things like culture play a role, the way you were raised. There's a lot of different factors here. You're just your natural personality that would come out no matter what environment you grew up in. Everybody's different. Like, obviously there's huge room for variation between people, and everyone is the same, but everyone is different at the same time. We're not like a static species. Like, I see it with Coach RedPill, Modern Life Dating, the 33 Secrets, all of these guys. They brag about how many beautiful girls they've slept with, but then they have this underlying philosophy of complaining about contemporary dating culture and that it's been deregulated. Like, they brag about their body count, and in the same breath, they're like, oh, these modern girls, they're all on birth control and they're sleeping around. It's like, in order for you to have that high body count, you need this dating account. Like, there's this schizophrenia in their philosophy that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, to you, because you do, but yeah, because you've been super sheltered. Yeah, of course. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to you. I mean, no, some of these guys, I don't like some of these guys. I agree with them on that. I don't like some of these guys. Because yeah, it kind of they just kind of regurgitate the same shit over and over and over again, and there's no sense of growth from anything that a few of those guys you showed. I'll agree with them on that. But what they do does make sense in the sense of, okay, it's gotten to, okay, see, you gotta look at it as a chess match when you deal with bitches like this, right? You see, all these women are gonna want like the asshole guy. See, women, it's always about value and getting a higher quality male than whatever they are, right? So, men, especially in Western cultures, we've just said, fuck it. We're not marrying you because you're a fucking piece of trash. You've been ran through 50 times. So this is what we'll do. So as men, because men, we still want to fuck. So what do? We just fuck them and fucking leave them. And let that next generation come into play where all these women are now miserable. They hate their lives. They can't keep a man. And then see the women, they'll instinctively start telling the younger girls, look, you got to be a better woman now. You can't be like us with Instagram thoughts. And then women will slow. Because if you went to a woman and said, fix your shit right now, she's not going to fix it. Women don't operate off verbal contract. Women operate off actions. So they're doing the right thing by plowing a bunch of bitches and leaving them out to the fucking curb. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because that's the only way to fix a generation, to fix a possible next generation or maybe 2 generations later. That's the only way you can fix woman. Because like I say plenty of times before, once woman's brain is officially convinced of going down one path, that woman cannot turn around and go back another way, even if she knows it's dangerous and it's hurting her. Woman's brain cannot. Woman's path is always destruction. You see, but what she does is she knows she's being wrong. She knows it's fucked up, but she's going to keep doing it now. But what she can do is tell that next generation of woman, don't do this. Don't do this. See, that's the logic in it. You got to look at it. This is chess, like Denzel Washington said in Training Day. This is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers. I've been playing their ass for years. Like, they know what they do. They're playing their ass. That's how you fix. You can't go, especially in America, you can't go walk up to a bitch and say, fix the shit right now. This is what you do around and do this. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. How do you fix it? You pump and dump and ignore their fucking ass until they're miserable and fucked up. And it becomes clear that women's time for being in their prime is incredibly finite in relation to men. Their time, because a man can always turn around and fix it and go off and and fuck badder bitches than me. This dude right now, he could fuck around and turn 55 and be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna bang some badass bitches again and go get his shit together and go out and fuck bitches that look better than this 20 years from now. Where these bitches, they can't do the same thing when they hit 40 and 50. See, they gonna end up old and miserable because they've been plowed, ran through. Their pair bonding is just shot to hell. And they're gonna be old and fucking miserable, going out with their girlfriends. She coming Moses, yeah, girl. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We all knows what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. You went out there, you probably kissed a couple other girls, you got free drinks for gambling, and you went to bed. Let's be real about it. When they get old, that's what happens in Vegas. Pretty much the only time they can afford their own trip to Vegas.
Oh, and I think it goes without saying that I don't necessarily see eye to eye with the red pill guys on what makes a man attractive. They have a tendency to embellish the importance of a good physique, and they have a tendency to downplay the importance of face and height and other things like that. So, I don't necessarily see eye to eye with them on that front. Like a few weeks ago, I was having a debate with one of these guys, these pickup artists, and he was saying to me, oh, the problem with your community, because he thinks I'm with the whole, black looks pill community. He thinks I'm still, deeply entrenched with those guys, even though I disagree with some of them, too. But he's like, oh, the problem with your community is that you're a bunch of quitters and crybabies that blame blame the fact that you're not, a male model for why you can't get laid and all this kind of crap, making all these generalizations about me that just aren't true. But but at the same time, this dating coach, he went on a live stream with all of his friends, Donovan Sharp and all those guys. And he's like, I was debating one of those lookism guys. And, they're such cowards. They always hide behind an avatar. They never show their face, thinking that I don't show my face on camera, which I do whenever someone wants me to. But I'm thinking to myself, these red pill guys, they always talk about cam up, unless you have an Instagram where I can see what you look like, I don't care what you say. They always say that in order for you to have a valid opinion within the red pill, you've got to show your face. But then they say that face doesn't matter in attracting a girl. It's like they have, again, more schizophrenia, where they kind of...
This is not schizophrenia. Okay. See, and I can understand why another red pill guy would say that. Now, because see, that red pill shit is about accepting your role as a dominant outspoken man. That's the core of it. And accepting your dominance and your dominance and your own philosophy and your own willpower to be out there and seen. That at the core is what's attractive as a man. And I was, and that can make sense. And I'm not just trying to side with them because they're red pill guys. But I mean, but all honesty speaking, in all honesty, yeah, that I can see why they would say that. And like in all honesty, it also sounds like it sounds like you were a bit triggered from getting kicked out, or you probably a red pill dude definitely came and said something, and that had something to do with beta and this shit. I could definitely see that happening. Well, you already said it happened. Well, you said you didn't agree with it. But like I said, I'm not mad at you personally. But I think, okay, and I love the general act of debating shit. Like I said, this is a YouTube video, so it's only 10 minutes, 13 minutes. So I think we would definitely benefit from a legit interview with this guy to get true fucking thoughts across. Because, like I said, there's so many instances where you can easily skim over or go over a very important part that could make that can add to fueling reasonings. But the dog situation, now that was just flat out wrong. The men do want to spread their seed and women want to sit at home. Essentially because women just run out of time, pretty much, and then they see other older women sitting at home too. Well, not so much nowadays because most of them are single and angry, but still, that general Hallmark Disney fucking movie shit is implanted in bitches' heads.
Where their true philosophy comes out in their rhetoric, but they try and hide it. Another example, Bulldog Mindset, who I get on with reasonably okay. He annoys me that he always invites these red pill morons onto his channel, but
damn, he a moron now, bro. Let's do the Will Ferrell meme. I gotta get where my water. I do the Will Ferrell meme. Y'all remember this shit? That escalated quickly. Why is he a moron though? For real, you ain't give him a chance to fucking protect himself or nothing. You just gonna call him out like that? He a moron. Y'all remember that Charlie Murphy fucking moron? Yeah, that escalated quickly, bruh. That escalated quickly.
Philosophy comes out in their rhetoric, but they try and hide it. Another example, Bulldog Mindset, who I get on with reasonably okay. He annoys me that he always invites these red pill morons onto his channel. Bulldog Mindset, not a bad guy. But I remember when Bulldog Mindset was saying that, looks don't matter. But at the same time, he said that catfishing a girl on Tinder is one of the, is a morally evil thing to do. And I'm thinking to myself, what is catfishing or chadfishing? You're simply lying about your looks. So if it's wrong to chadfish a girl on Tinder, then aren't you, by definition, admitting that looks matter? Because if you tell the truth about every other aspect of your personality, you just lie about the person in your pictures. If you think that's immoral, then you are admitting to how important looks are. So
okay, looks are, yeah. Okay, and I'll go deeper into this. Looks are not important in real life. Because you have a lot, because with women, you gotta remember, with women, there's so many other things that men can sell themselves on. Whereas now with a woman, it's pretty much all her looks. For a lot of women, that's all they really have to sell themselves off of to get a certain quality of man. Where a man can sell more in person without looks. But when you're talking on the internet, when you just like you said, when you leave bitches alone, they're going. And when you leave, okay, like what you said, but I'm going to add to it because I think you left that part out. When you let a bitch go off in the world and she has full option or full choice to swipe through Tinder profiles, yes, she's going to go after the top 1 or 2% of men. Even if she's like that. I mean, look, see, this is another part. I didn't make this shit up. Okay, Cupid released this shit. Fucking, I'm pretty sure Tinder released these stats. Women who are 3s will only go after fucking 9s, from 7s to 10s. See, we didn't make, the man is, bruh, CBP, we didn't make this shit up. Stop trying to push it off on Red Pill for making this shit up that you don't like. Because that's a common trend that I've seen throughout this 12-minute video. If you didn't like it, then Red Pill must have made it up. And if you liked it, well, then it makes all the sense in the world. This is bitch shit. You are going, hey, you gonna be mad at me for saying this shit, but it's the fucker. And I'm not mad at you personally, because I don't know you personally. But the way you going about this shit, this is how bitches go about getting mad at shit. If it's something you didn't like, then Red Pill made it up. And if it's something you like, oh, it's not wrong, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers didn't make, yeah. when you go online, like all these dating sites, they've already released the data of the percentage of women who text back men, what kind of men they texting back, what they're ranked on different. Like I think like Badu, people get like ranks on what they look like and who got what. We didn't make that shit up. Okay, but I will say this, in person, looks don't matter as much. It depends on how you approached her, how you talking to her, what kind of mood she was in, what kind of mood you was in. All that shit plays a part. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to sell myself as a dating coach, because I know the reality on dating in real life. For one individual woman, if you only going after one woman, that's damn near impossible to predict how it's going to play out no matter what you do. I mean, you can give them advice and pointers that can benefit, but that individual woman is completely unpredictable. Like some women you can walk up to in the first 15 seconds and ask them for a blowjob, and they'll go, "Oh well, I got to get off in like 5 minutes, so I'll come around back and I'll meet you and I'll suck your dick then." Some women you can ask them in the first 15 seconds. Other women you might have to like sit down with them and talk to them. She has to. And whatever triggers her feeling comfortable with you, then she might suck your dick. You never know. Every individual woman is completely different with that shit, man. We have 30 seconds left. Let's just finish this shit out so I can get out of here because I'm hungry.
Guys, they're just a mishmash of schizophrenic philosophy, moral hypocrisy. They're like a bunch of like monkeys staring up at the sky and thinking they're seeing the entire galaxy and Milky Way and the universe as a whole. It's like, no.
Well, to you, as somebody who clearly doesn't understand a woman's nature, a woman's logic, that's what it looks like. A motherfucker's like looking at the universe. To you, that's what it looks like.
Seeing a little tiny piece of it. You're not seeing all of it. But they think that because they can see some of the stars, they're like totally informed. Good heavens. Good heavens, everybody. I think this video, I'm going to wrap it up right now. Thank you for listening. This
was like, that was nothing but just flat out frustration. Now, some things I see his point of view, but in other things, okay, I'll say this, and I'm not trying to bash the guy, because like I said, I don't know the motherfucker. We could probably be great friends in real life. He probably plays Mario 35 and all that shit, too. We can sit up and kick it and drink beers. But, this is strictly on debate shit. It sounds like to me, at best, there's a more childish understanding of women. And he just doesn't have any realistic perspective on women and what women say and want and do and shit. So trying to make sense as a man of when you're a man and you're a grown man and you're trying to make sense of what woman does, but you secretly are trying to bring women up to be equal with men. I think that is where his problem is coming in at, is that. See, like, because you're assuming that the guy. It sounds like he's assuming that women are on an exact equal playing field as men. So, well, why is it? So he's trying to make this mathematical logic out of it, and it don't work like that. Women don't operate off logic; they operate as women. They operate off emotions, and you got to learn that. See, I think that's why it's so difficult. Well, why is it this and NBD said this and then it's that? Yeah, because you're still trying to make that mathematical male logic in woman, and that's why it's so difficult. But anyway. I'm out of here, man. Yeah, check out the Patreon ebook merchandise. Part 2 of All Used Up is gonna come out, and I was gonna put some real gangster in it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna get me taken down. So I'll probably just play like an audio clip of was that Felicity Feline of the interview, because I was thinking about this, man. I wanted to make another segment based off the interviews post porn and like either before or after the porno shoots. I want to get guys to listen to women, to hear that shit, to hear what they really saying. Like, I think that's probably the next best step before me just going to a brothel with the camera and talking to a bitch on camera with you. But even then, they're not gonna speak English, so it's gonna be hard. I had to translate that shit and all that shit. But anyway, yeah, check out the ebook club, merchandise, Patreons, links in the description. I'm out, man. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Part 2 to All Used Up. It's probably either going to come out this weekend, but let's be real. I'll probably wait till Monday to do it. But but yeah, I'm out of here. I hope the volume isn't too loud because I don't know how to read this goofy ass shit. But anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.